Welcome to Chapter 5 of Class 10 Science, Life Processes. In this fascinating chapter, we'll explore the fundamental processes that distinguish living organisms from non-living things. How do we know something is alive? When we see movement, growth, or responses to the environment, we recognize life. But even when organisms appear inactive, like during sleep, life processes continue. In this chapter, we'll study nutrition, how organisms obtain energy and materials, respiration, how they release energy from food, transportation, how materials move within organisms, and excretion, how wastes are removed. We'll compare these processes in plants and animals and understand how they work together to maintain life. Get ready for an exciting journey into the processes that sustain all living beings. Let's begin with nutrition, the process by which organisms obtain and utilize food. All living organisms need energy to maintain their organized structures and carry out life activities. Even when we're sitting still, our bodies need energy for breathing, heartbeat, and cellular repair. Nutrition provides this energy and the raw materials for growth and maintenance. Organisms show two main modes of nutrition: autotrophic nutrition, where organisms make their own food like green plants through photosynthesis, and heterotrophic nutrition, where organisms obtain food from other sources like animals that eat plants or other animals. Single-celled organisms like amoeba can obtain nutrition directly from their environment through their cell surface, but multicellular organisms need specialized systems because most of their cells are not in direct contact with the environment. Understanding nutrition helps us appreciate how energy flows through ecosystems and sustains all life. Now let's explore autotrophic nutrition in detail, focusing on photosynthesis, nature's amazing energy factory. Green plants, algae, and some bacteria can convert light energy into chemical energy through photosynthesis. The raw materials are simple: carbon dioxide from the air, water from the soil, sunlight as the energy source, and chlorophyll as the pigment that captures light. The products are glucose for energy storage and oxygen as a byproduct. In Activity 5.1, we test for starch production in leaves and discover that chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis. The process occurs in three main steps: absorption of light energy by chlorophyll, conversion to chemical energy with water splitting, and reduction of carbon dioxide to form carbohydrates. Plants have specialized structures called stomata, tiny pores on leaves, for gas exchange, controlled by guard cells that swell or shrink with water content. Photosynthesis not only provides food for plants but also produces the oxygen that most organisms need for respiration. Heterotrophic nutrition shows incredible diversity in how organisms obtain food. We have holozoic nutrition where organisms ingest complex organic material and digest it internally, like humans and most animals. Saprophytic nutrition where organisms feed on dead and decaying matter, secreting enzymes for external digestion before absorption, like fungi and bread mold. And parasitic nutrition where organisms derive nutrition from a living host without killing it immediately, like tapeworms and cuscuta. Single-celled organisms like amoeba use pseudopodia to engulf food in a process called phagocytosis, while paramecium uses cilia to direct food into its oral groove. The human digestive system is a complex but efficient tube-like structure with specialized parts: mouth for mechanical and chemical digestion, esophagus for food passage, stomach for protein digestion in acidic environment, small intestine for complete digestion and absorption, and large intestine for water absorption and waste formation. Each part has specific enzymes and conditions for optimal digestion. Activity 5.3 demonstrates how salivary amylase breaks down starch into sugars, showing the importance of enzymes in digestion. Respiration is the process of releasing energy from food for cellular activities. It's important to distinguish between breathing, the physical process of gas exchange, and respiration, the chemical process of energy release. Respiration occurs in all living cells and can be aerobic, using oxygen for complete breakdown of glucose with maximum energy release, or anaerobic, without oxygen for partial breakdown with less energy. Aerobic respiration produces carbon dioxide and water, while anaerobic respiration in muscles produces lactic acid and in yeast produces ethanol and carbon dioxide. The human respiratory system includes nostrils, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli where gas exchange occurs. Alveoli provide enormous surface area for efficient diffusion of oxygen into blood and carbon dioxide out of blood. Activity 5.4 with germinating seeds shows that living organisms produce carbon dioxide during respiration. Plants respire through stomata in leaves, lenticels in stems, and directly through roots in soil. While plants photosynthesize during the day, they respire all the time to meet their energy needs. Transportation systems move materials between different parts of multicellular organisms. Single-celled organisms can rely on diffusion, but multicellular organisms need specialized transport systems because most cells are not in direct contact with the environment. The human circulatory system includes the heart as a muscular pump, blood vessels as transport pathways, and blood as the transport medium. The heart has 4 chambers with the right side handling deoxygenated blood to the lungs and the left side handling oxygenated blood to the body. Arteries carry blood away from the heart with thick, elastic walls to withstand high pressure, while veins carry blood toward the heart with thinner walls and valves to prevent backflow. Capillaries are the sites of actual exchange with tissues. Blood contains plasma as the liquid matrix, red blood cells for oxygen transport, white blood cells for immunity, and platelets for clotting. Activity 5.6 demonstrates the difference between arterial and venous blood flow. Plants have 2 transport systems. Xylem for water and mineral transport from roots to leaves, driven mainly by transpiration pull, and phloem for food transport from leaves to storage organs, requiring energy for active transport. Excretion removes metabolic wastes to maintain internal balance or homeostasis. Metabolic wastes include carbon dioxide from respiration, urea from protein metabolism, excess water, salts, and other nitrogenous compounds. Accumulation of these wastes would be toxic, so excretion is essential for survival. The human excretory system includes kidneys for filtration, ureters for urine transport, urinary bladder for storage, and urethra for elimination. Each kidney contains about 1 million nephrons, the functional units of filtration. Urine formation involves 3 processes: filtration of blood in glomerulus, reabsorption of useful substances in the tubule, and secretion of additional wastes. Amazingly, about 180 liters of blood are filtered daily, but only 1 to 2 liters of urine are produced, showing efficient reabsorption. Activity 5.7 shows how plants excrete wastes through various methods like shedding leaves, depositing in old xylem, storing in vacuoles, or releasing through stomata. When kidneys fail, dialysis can artificially perform their function by filtering blood through a semi-permeable membrane, or kidney transplantation can provide a permanent solution. Understanding excretion helps us appreciate how organisms maintain their internal environment despite external changes. Let's review how all life processes work together to maintain the living state. Nutrition provides the energy and raw materials that respiration uses to release energy. Transportation systems distribute these materials throughout the organism and carry wastes to excretory organs. Excretion removes metabolic wastes that would otherwise disrupt cellular functions. All these processes together enable growth, repair, and maintenance of the organism. In plants, photosynthesis during the day produces food and oxygen, while respiration continues all the time. In animals, digestion breaks down complex food into simple absorbable forms, respiration releases energy, circulation distributes materials, and excretion removes wastes. Disruption in any one process affects all others and can threaten the organism's survival. From single-celled organisms to complex multicellular beings, these fundamental processes work in harmony to sustain life. Understanding these interconnections helps us appreciate the delicate balance that maintains life and the consequences when this balance is disturbed. Undefined.